Hi, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of the Empowerment Exchange. You may notice things are a little different over here right now. We are actually on location. We're going to be doing some filming in Sundance, Utah. So we are out here, but I still wanted to come on for my Empowerment Exchange with you because I think it's really important that I stay consistent, and I want to make sure that I continue to show up in your journey. And today we're going to talk about something that um, I know I have dealt with personally myself, and I know that a lot of women that I work with have dealt with as well. And it's the fear of success. And within the fear of success, we find we sometimes sabotage ourselves. And there's a lot that's behind that. And I want to dive into that today. So, because the setup is a little bit different, I am going to be looking down at my notes because I think it's so important to make sure I get all this information over to you. And then I'm also going to be sharing with you a checklist and a worksheet just to see if you're falling into some of the things that may be preventing you from becoming successful in your life. Um, so I can tell you, for me, having had a career now that is almost 28 years long, there were periods of my transition into what I currently do in coaching that I was just really afraid of becoming successful. Actually, my entire life, I have really felt as I continued to earn more money and as I continued to, my company continued to become more successful, I was afraid. And I think there were a lot of things that I was afraid of. I was afraid of making more money than my parents. I was afraid of making more money than my sibling. I was afraid of making more money than my friends and people around me because I never wanted for 1 second somebody to think that I was trying to be better than them, or that I wanted to go out and earn all this money to have all these dollar signs and like hoard all the toys, right? When you have money and you have success, you have options. And for me, one of the biggest things that I've always wanted to do and do any chance I get is to give back to other people. So for me, money and having money provides those options that in my life really, really are important to me. Being able to pour resources and financial support into other people who are trying to maybe get out of a situation, whether it's an abusive situation or just a situation that's not good for them, and are trying to find a way to move forward in their life. So for me, I have spent a lot of time being afraid of success, but now I embrace it. But that hasn't been an overnight thing. So I want to ask you, and again, there's a lot of snow right now behind us. So you're going to hear like plows, and we're staying in this fabulous cabin that has a really high ceilings, and one of the fire or the smoke detectors has a battery that needs to get replaced. So you're going to hear that chirping every once in a while. So I apologize. But do you embrace success? Do you envision yourself with wealth and being very healthy and just living in a place of abundance? In going after your hopes and your desires, you might be surprised to encounter that you have a fear of success, just like I did. And one of the things I talk about a lot is that there is no shame in being successful. So if you are climbing the corporate ladder, or if you are an entrepreneur, or if you are a business owner, or whoever you are as a woman, and you continue to become more successful in your life, please embrace it. Please, please, please embrace it. If you're at that point where you're like, I want to just break through the ceiling and I want to make as much money as I can, but I'm so fearful, then, really listen into what I'm going to share with you. If you find yourself achieving only small, kind of little fleeting successes, but the great things you deserve and desire always seem to just be out of reach, you may be the victim of the fear of success. You may be sabotaging yourself. And as somebody who used to self-sabotage, I feel you. I know exactly where you are. Your fear of success may be tough to identify and understand because the causes are frequently hidden from our conscious awareness. Your fear may be lurking in your subconscious, and you may not even discover that this challenge exists within you without some real digging in, without sitting down and being really, really honest with yourself. Yet this fear can cause you to sabotage your pursuit of your most cherished dreams and desires. So how do you find out if your actions are motivated by the fear of success? So think of a goal that you want to achieve. And I'm going to give you, in addition to the worksheet and the checklist, I'm going to give you an exercise to do. And it's really, really a good exercise to do because I do it. I even do it now. Like there's something that I'm really fearful for, not so much about the success part, because I feel like I've gotten a very good handle on that. I now am trying to live as much in abundance as I possibly can, in financial abundance, in physical abundance, in spiritual abundance. I am really trying. I think it's because I've gotten older and I've been through so many life experiences that I feel ready for all the financial abundance to come in now with all of my health challenges. I'm ready for the physical and the health abundances to come in. And I think that as I come to a challenge, I sit down and I do this exact same exercise with myself. And think of a goal that you would like to achieve, and then take at least 20 minutes. I would say 20 to 30 minutes, but at least 20 minutes, and answer the following question: what will happen if I succeed? What will happen if I succeed with this project? What will happen if I'm opening a business and that is successful? What will happen if I get promoted at work and I step into a new role? What will happen when I'm successful in that area? Write down everything that you can think of, good and bad, because there are consequences, good and bad, with achieving your goal. It's important to take at least 20 minutes, because when you do any less than that, you're like automatically thinking, oh, okay, well, if this works out, then I can do this, and this, without really allowing to creep in the negative. Because especially when you're doing an exercise like this and you're excited about something, you start writing it all down. So if you only spend 5 minutes, you're like, this is what it is, it's all going to be. But if you spend really time being honest with yourself, digging deep, a lot of other things are going to uncover itself. So this is what I mean. Suppose your goal is to make $250,000 this year. Very, very attainable, right? You put your nose to the grindstone, and if that's what you want to do, it's very, very easy to do it. If you are driven, disciplined, you have your plan, you're aligned, and you're getting yourself out there. We're only 3 months into the year. You still have a lot of time on your side. So suppose your goal is to make $250,000 this year. You might include items like this in your list. If my computer would work for me, I would give you what the list is. I will be able to pay all my bills. I'll be able to buy a new car. I can go on vacation. I'll be able to put a lot towards my taxes. But you know what? If I get $250,000 this year, my brother might ask for a loan, or people might treat me differently. I won't know what to do with the money after I've got it. Maybe I should get a new house, but where would I live? My partner's just going to try to spend it all. I'm probably just going to lose it or invest it incorrectly. So you see, in your excitement, you're going to write down some of the things you want to buy, some of the things you're going to want to do with the money once you have it, and you can do it. But then as you delve in deeper and you spend that 20 minutes, you're going to have feelings about achieving that goal. And then some of the not so positive consequences of your achievement are going to appear when you put that pen to paper. Some of those consequences may reveal things you fear happening if you really achieved your goal. Goals are never completely free of fear. Achievement always involves change, and all change involves some apprehension. You might truly desire to be successful, but if the feelings of fear due to the changes outweigh the positive feelings in your mind, progress will be slow and challenging. So let's just break down that exercise that I just shared. You're super excited, right? Oh my goodness, I'm going to make all this money and I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to go on a vacation. I'm going to put money to my taxes. I'm going to save it. I'm going to invest in whatever it is. And then as you start creeping in, well, somebody's going to know that I'm becoming more successful. They're going to see that I've bought a new house, or I bought a new car. I'm doing something. And now they're like, oh, Jennifer's got some money coming in. Maybe I'll ask her if she wants to invest in me, or if I could have a loan and pay her back. And when you start having some of that scary parts, some of the I don't know how I'm going to deal with that, when that creeps in, it may deflect you from really going after what you really want to be truly successful. Okay. If you remember the last, I think it was maybe 2 empowerment exchanges ago, We talked about setting healthy habits and healthy boundaries, right? So if you've been watching the empowerment exchanges, I'm trying to make it to where they build upon one another. So if you have written down your no manifesto and you've established your healthy boundaries, and now we're starting to work on self-sabotage and you're starting to really align the things that you want. When you get to how you're going to have those conversations and you've already set your boundaries or your no manifesto, that may play hand in hand. So think about that. Use it as kind of a stackable exercise for I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have all my boundaries in place, my no manifesto in place. I'm going to set them, I'm going to enforce them. I'm going to start teaching people how to treat me and what my expectations are. And now I'm going to focus on becoming successful. And I'm going to focus on why am I so worried about those things? A lot of reasons why we're so worried about the things that we fear is because we don't have a way to address them. So if it's worrying about your brother coming and asking for money, or if it's worried about somebody finding out and thinking that you're going to be pretending to be better than them, just understand using that stackable exercise, set your boundaries. That on the other side of fear is freedom. And on the other side of fear is everything you've ever wanted. And I know that I can tell you personally, when you step outside of your comfort zone, that's when your life changes, drastically changes. And I want to just wrap up really with sharing with you how to eliminate your fear of success. If you can make yourself aware of your apprehensions, as I just said, you have the opportunity to attack each and every one of them and eliminate them, or at least minimize how much rent they're taking in your mind, because you have a way that you're going to address each one of those. Looking directly at these fears is a very powerful thing. Fears that are not acknowledged tend to just grow stronger and stronger and stronger. Fears that are examined, they are tested, tend to be minimized, which can help you take aggressive action towards the completion of a goal. So as we wrap up today, I want you to ultimately sit down and look closely at your fears. You're going to see that perceived side effects are often what seems scariest when you're pursuing your goals. So before you give up on your plans, ask yourself what would happen if you ultimately have the life that you want, if you ultimately become successful and you are able to live life on your terms. Break down each one of those things. Do that 20 minutes, dedicate it to what it is that you are fearful of when it becomes thinking about becoming successful. Tackle your fears head on, and you can start achieving your dreams today. So as we wrap up today, thank you for allowing me to come in with a very different setup. I'm going to be sharing with you a checklist and a worksheet, but just spend a little bit of time throughout the week sitting and thinking about when you think about the life that you want to have, what is standing in your way. If it's fear, tackle them. If it's you, we have to start pulling back what it is. Maybe you aren't clear on your goals. Maybe you don't feel confident in assigning, or you don't feel confident in going out and getting them. Maybe you don't feel aligned. Maybe you're like suffering from imposter syndrome. You're not living authentically because you just don't know, something is off and you feel lost, but you don't know how to find your way. Maybe you are passionate about something, but you're not doing it. You're not living in it. You're not living in your flow. And maybe you just don't feel empowered about anything that's going on in your life. So please make sure that you spend some time doing this exercise that I shared with you. You spend time doing the checklist and the worksheet. And more than anything, if there is a way that I can step in alongside you in your journey, you know how to find me. And I look forward to seeing you on the next Empowerment Exchange. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day.